What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about power law of logarithms. The law here we have is log of x to the power of n base b equals to n times log x base b, which means that this exponent here I can write it as a coefficient. When b is greater than 0, it cannot be 1, and x is greater than 0 and n is a real number. Let's see some examples. Log 2 base 2. That's going to be log 2 to the power of 1 base 2, which will be 1 times log 2 base 2 is going to be 1. 1 times 1 is going to be 1. We had already in another video log of any expression or any number base the same number is going to be equal to 1, because 8 to the power 1 is 8. So please note that. Next example, log 4 base 2. We can write 4 as 2 to the power of 2 and then move and make it as a coefficient. So 2 times log 2 base 2. This part is going to be 1 according to this law. So 2 times 1 is going to be 2. Log 8 base 2 is going to be log 2 to the power of 3 base 2. It's going to be 3 times log 2 base 2. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. Next one, log 16 base 2. It's going to be 2 to the power of 4 base 2. And it's going to be 4 times log 2 base 2. 4 times 1 is going to be 4. And we can continue like that and make something like log 1024 base 2 is going to be log 2 to the power of 10 base 2. And you make this one as coefficient. Log 2 base 2. 10 times 1 is going to be 10. Log 125 base 5 is going to be log 5 to the power of 3 base 3. It's going to be 3 times log 5 base 5. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. Next one, log 64 base 4 is going to be log 4 to the power of 3 base 3 is going to be 3 times log 4 base 4. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. Next one, log 10,000. It's going to be log 10,000 is 10 to the power of 4 base 10. It is a common logarithm. We had it before. It is not necessary to write the base when the base is 10. So that's going to be 4 log 10. Log 10 is 1. So 4 times 1 is going to be 4. Next example, log 216 base 6. 216 is 6 to the power of 3. That's going to be 3 times log 6 base 6 is going to be 3 times 1 is going to be equal to 3. Next one is going to be log 49 base 7 is going to be log 7 to the power of 2 base 7 is going to be 2 log 7 base 7. That's going to be 2 times 1 equals to 2. Next example, log 9 to the power of 4 base 3 is going to be log 3 to the power of 2 to the power of 4, because 9 is 3 to the power of 2. That's going to be log 3 to the power of 2 times 4 is going to be 8 base on 3. So that's going to be 8 times log 3 base 3 is going to be 8 times 1 equals to 8. Next one is going to be log 16 to the power of 3 base on 2. That's going to make it as log 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 3 base 2, which will be log 2 to the power of 12 base 2. That's going to be equal to 12 log 2 base 2 is going to be 12. Next one, log 16 to the power of 3 base 4. 16 is 4 to the power of 2, power of 3, base 4. So that's going to be log 4 to the power of 6. Base 4 is going to be log 6 log 4 base 4 is going to be 6 times 1 equals to 6. Next one, log 0.001 to the power of 2 is going to be log 10 to the power of negative 3 to the power of 2, which is going to be log 10 to the power of negative 6, and you make it as log negative 6 times log, it's going to be negative 6. Log 8 to the power of 5 base 2. You can write it as log 2 to the power of 3 base 5 base 2. So 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 5 base 2 is going to be log 2 to the power of 15 base 2. That's going to be equal to 15 times log 2 base 2 equals to 15. Next example, log cube root of 25 base 5. That's going to be log 5 to the power of 2 to the power of 1 over 3 base 5, which is going to be log 5 to the power of 2 over 3 base 5. That's going to be 2 over 3 log 5 base 5. It's going to be 1. So 2 over 3 times 1 is going to be 2 over 3. Next example, log square root of 125 base 5. That's going to be log 5 to the power of 3 to the power of half base 5. It's going to be log 5 to the power of 3 over 2 base 5. It's going to be 3 over 2 log 5 base 5 is going to be 3 over 2. Another example, log 100 to the power of negative 4. That's going to be log 10 to the power of 2 to the power of negative 4 is going to be log 10 to the power of negative 8, which will be negative 8 times log 10. Log 10 is 1, negative 1 times 1, negative 8 times 1 is going to be negative 8. Next one, log square root of 0.1. I'm going to say that's going to be equal to 10 to the power of negative 1 to the power of 1 over 2. That's going to be log 10 to the power of negative 1 over 2. It's going to be negative 1 over 2 times log 10. Log 10 is 1. So negative 1 half times 1 is going to be negative 1 half. Next one is square root of log of square root of 8 base 2. That's going to be log 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1 over 2 base 2. So that's going to be log 2 to the power of 3 over 2 base 2, which is going to be 3 over 2 times log 2 base 2 equals to 3 over 2. Next one, log 243 base 3 is going to be log 3 to the power of 5 over 2. It is basically 5 times 1 over 2. 1 over 2 is the square root, and 243 is going to be 3 to the power of 5. So that's going to be 5 over 2 times log 3 base 3, which is going to be 1. The answer is going to be 5 over 2. Next example is log cube root of 16 to the power of 6 base 2. We have log 16 is 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 1 over 3 to the power of 6. Cube root is 1 over 3. 16 is 2 to the power of 4, and we have the power of 6, which is going to be log 2 to the power of 4 times 1 over 3 times 6 based on 2. 6 times 1 over 3 is going to be 2. 2 times 4 is going to be 8. So it's going to be log 2 to the power of 8 base 2. That's going to be 8 times log 2 base 2 is going to be equal to 8. Next example. Log 5th root of 81 to the power of 11 base 3. This case, I'm going to say log 81 is 3 to the power of 4 to the power of 1 over 5 to the power of 11, which is going to be log 3 to the power of 44 over 5 base 3, which is going to be 44 over 5 times log 3 base 3, and that's going to be 44 over 5. Next example, log 1 base 3. We know 3 to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So that's going to be equal to 0, because 0 times log 3 base 3 is going to be 0, because log 3 base 3 is going to be 1. Next one is log 4 base 16. We know 4 is 16 to the power of 1 over 2. So that's going to be 1 over 2 times log 16 base 16 is going to be 1 over 2. If you have log 2 based on 16 is going to be log 16 to the power 1 over 4 base 16 is going to be 1 over 4 times log 16 base 16 is going to be 1 over 4. Next example, log 1 over 8 base 2. You can say 1 over 8 is 8 to the power of negative 1, which is 2 to the power of 3 to the power of negative 1 base 2, which is going to be log 2 to the power of negative 3 base 2, which is going to be negative 3 times log 2 base 2 is going to be negative 3. Next example, log 1 over 7 base 7. 1 over 7 is 7 to the power of negative 1, which is going to be negative 1 times log 7 base 7. That's 1. Negative 1 times 1 is going to be negative 1. Next example, log 8 base 4. I'm going to say that 2 to the power of 3 is 8. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. 4 to the power of 2 is 16. 4 to the power of 1 is 4. So you're going to say that 2 to the power of 3 over 2 is going to be, 4 to the power of 3 over 2 is going to be 8. Why? Because 4 to the power of 3 is 16, and 16 to the power of 1 over 2 is going to be 8. So we're going to say log 4 to the power of 3 over 2 base 4 is going to be 3 over 2. Log 4 base 4 is going to be 3 over 2. Next example, log 1 over 8 base 4 is going to be the same. You have log 4 to the power of negative 3 over 2 base 4, which is going to be negative 3 over 2. Next example is going to be log 32 to the power of 3 base 2. You're going to write it as log 32. You're going to write it as 2 to the power of 5 to the power of 3, which is going to be log 2 to the power of 15 base 2, It's going to be 15 times log 2 base 2, which is going to be 15. Next one is log 1000 to the power of negative 2 is going to be log 10 to the power of 3 to the power of negative 2, which is going to be log 10 to the power of negative 6, which is going to be negative 6 times log 10. That's going to be equal to negative 6. Next example, log 0.001 to the power of negative 1. You're going to write it as log 10 to the power of negative 3 to the power of negative 1, which is going to be log negative 3 times negative 1 is going to be positive 3, 10. So we can have 3 times log 10, which is going to be 3. Next one is going to be log 1 over 16 to the power of 4 base 1 over 4. That's going to be log 1 over 16 is 1 over 4 to the power of 2 to the power of 4, 1 over 4. That's going to be log 1 over 2 to the power of 2 times 4 is going to be 8. So we have 8 times log 1 over 4 base 1 over 4, which is going to be equal to 8. So basically that's how we use power law of logarithm. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can have access to many other videos regarding logarithm and other topics in math and calculus. Please leave me a comment if you have any question. Thank you for watching and have a great day.